was. And they still are, it seems. Sadly in search of one stepping back on living cells in a slow moving dream. What's up, boss? No, no clue. Bridle lateral. Are you ready, Vern? You rolling? Okay, we're starting off with the Western Pleasure Series now, and the first thing in the Western Pleasure Series that I want to talk about is bridle lateral. I'm just going to say something about this horse before we get going too much here. You know, you look at him, he's kind of anxious about things. He always has been that way, probably always will be that way. But we use it to our benefit and sometimes to our detriment, but mostly to our benefit. You know, right now he's kind of on a training schedule that he's not working real hard or anything. So, you know, he's hairy and he's kind of like, gee, many Christmas people, I'm supposed to be getting kicked out nowadays. And what am I doing at this place? Loping circles. So, you know, he's going to be a little testy for us, but the general gist of it is what you'll get out of it. So, anyways, bridle lateral. First things first, when you pull on a horse's mouth and squeeze with the leg, they should bring their chin in towards the shoulder. Okay? Right there. I'm gonna wait. There you go. I let go. Both sides. You can see this horse has done it a million times and he's trying to figure out what I'm doing this for. Again, bridle lateral. I'm not asking this horse to move his feet. I'm just asking him to bend his chin left and right. Now, the uses of this later on in this Western Pleasure Series is going to be that, you know, if we're jogging a circle and the horse starts bending his neck and pushing his shoulder one way, we can fix his shoulder and fix his neck and fix his head, as long as we can take his bridle or his head and move it left or right and bend his neck the direction we want. So we start there on the Western horses, I do anyways, and I'll just start in a real simple fashion and just start making a figure eight. Just clucking to him, squeezing with my legs, telling him to go somewhere. Pulling on the left rein. And I'll just start pulling on the right rein, take the bridle right a while. Again, if you notice, I really don't have a problem with him putting his head down. I'm not worried about him picking his neck up or anything like that. Okay. I'll do this probably, 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day. On the young horses that we're starting out with, you know, the 3-year-olds, they got a few months of riding. We're starting to, maybe 3-4 months of riding, we're really starting to try to get their neck loosened up and start getting them to think about where they put their neck and to keep their body moving. I'll probably do this the whole time I'm riding them. There we go. Good. Now, this is kind of a funny story. While I'm doing this, I'll just tell the stories. And the other day back at the farm, was working with a gal that just started working with me a couple months back or a month back or whatever. And I was talking to her about how to utilize your time the best when you're schooling your horse. So like right now, this horse is getting kind of bored because he knows what this is about, but I want to really show it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to also start loping him. And when I change direction, bend his head over here. I'm going to make him, see how he's kind of bouncing at that bridle? He's not wanting to keep his chin back and to me. I'm just going to keep on making him lope until he bounces, flicks that bridle up and gives it to me. Now, when I get to the middle, I'm gonna just switch the frame and let him break to the trot. Now, you're gonna say like, yeah, wow, what's the big deal? Well, with that move right there, I just taught this horse, I'm working on getting this horse soft, lateral, like we're talking about. But I'm also working on getting him downward transitions without lifting his neck, changing frame, all that stuff. So that's what I was talking to that gal about, is how to best utilize your time and to get this horse thinking about his balance. Now, this horse here, you can tell he's trying to counter canter because he knows how to do that. But if this was a 2-year-old or 3-year-old, they'd be starting to think about, I changed direction. I have to do something different with my feet. Like this horse, when I go to change that direction, he changes. You know, he either tries to change lead or he breaks to the trot. So anyways, that's kind of a sidelight. But the lateral movement here that I'm talking about, like right now, this horse is wanting to get straight. When I hold him laterally like this, he's kind of getting frustrated with me because he hasn't had to do this in a while. Just changing that direction, keeping him moving. Now again, like in the fundamental series, every time we pull and squeeze, he gives us that chin, we let go. You can kind of hear this horse puffing a little bit, he's getting tired. Now, the importance of this, if this makes sense, how we're getting this horse to bend his head laterally, bring his head in towards his shoulder, drop his neck a little bit. If this makes sense, that's what that exercise just got to us, the lateral movement. What it does for us, which is more important, is that now we can do like I was just doing here. We can teach this horse how to use downward transitions off of that. Let's say we're loping along in a class and the horse starts to bend his head out and raise his neck. Well, then all we got to do is when we pull on that inside rein, he's going to think about bending his head back down and towards that inside shoulder because you're pulling on one side. Again, we're talking about baby horses here. This horse is 5 years old. He's been doing this a while. He's a little frustrated because he's wondering why I'm doing this. We've been straightening him up a lot over the last year. But when they're 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds, what we'll do is we'll get a lot of this because then we show them with 2 hands. So we're going along, let's say, at the jog trot or whatever the case may be, and we got him kind of jogging nice and cute. And everything's going peachy, and then all of a sudden he starts getting tight-necked and wants to get high. I can move my hand back here. You see how that right there, he just dropped his head 2 inches. Well, just like that. Made that horse look soft, like right there. See that? How easy that was? He had a kind of a drastic move, and I brought it back to where I wanted it without having to do a drastic move on my own. You know, the horse made a drastic move by lifting his head up, and look, I'm gonna let go and let him do something wrong again here. Hopefully he'll pick his neck up real high and go, there he goes, okay. Now I just grab. Now that's a real simple thing. Now, to make him bring his head back down. Now, 2 things. First of all, no, when we show this horse, we don't want his head between his front legs. And that's kind of where you go when you get to doing this stuff too much. But on the flip side of it, we also want the horse to be real willing to give us his chin and drop his neck. That's an important thing in the pleasure in any end of it. Secondly, when we're going along, we want an easy fix. We don't want anything to be difficult. Pleasure, reining, I don't care, whatever it is, even a trail person, a person that just pleasure gets on their horse and rides it on the trail for pleasure. If it's difficult to fix something, it's not a lot of fun to ride the horse. If we're in a class somewhere and it takes more than that much to get the horse to respond, we just made from first to third or from third to eighth, whatever the case may be. But lateral movement is real important to the building block to get that horse to where when you give or when you pull, he gives or he softens to that bridle. And it all starts from going sideways. If we start working vertically right away, the horse is going to tighten up in the neck, lift the base of his neck, drop his back, and it gets ugly real quick. So that's lateral movement. That's what we want to have happen on the Western Pleasure horses, the very first thing.
Say that again and say that's bridle lateral.
That's bridle lateral. That's what we want to have happen on the Western Pleasure horses, the first thing we work on them. See it, do it.